Red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news. Just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it. Plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. Female voices in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune into the Ladies in Red.
Hi guys, welcome back to Ladies in Red. I'm just smiling to myself because Zeo dashed before that video played. He said I'll be back in time, and he made it with like a second spare. So fair play, he stood to his word, and he was here.
Oh, can you see me when that thing's on?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the end, yeah. But yeah, guys, apologies. Obviously, last week you will have heard that I was ill, so apologies for lack of content. And I'm excited to do a show with Zeo tonight. There's plenty that we need to talk about, United and England. Of course, we need to talk about that as well. But firstly, Zeo, thank you so much for coming on. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. As usual, always enjoy coming on. It's always great.
It's always a pleasure to have you on. And I'm interested to hear some of your viewpoints on some of the topics today. But the first one, I'm going to get into it. Obviously, England played last night, so I want to get the England stuff kind of out of the way and then we focus on United, ready for that derby at the weekend. But England yesterday, 3-3 draw. Considering the circumstances, we were 2-0 down against Germany. It's not really a bad result, but in the grand scheme of things, England have been in dire form going into this World Cup. Obviously, that's coming in the winter. Harry Maguire concedes a penalty in that game, gave away the ball for their second goal as well. Obviously, he's not really playing for United and whatnot. Like, in terms of Maguire's form, and I'm not talking about Maguire because I want to lay into him because I've seen plenty of people doing that on social media anyway, and that's kind of the point of me saying it. Like, people, like, there's a difference in that between criticism and then just pure agenda against a person. Like, I've seen a lot of personal stuff go out on Twitter and stuff as well, and it's not just been about the football. But let's talk about his form and his form alone. Like, Harry Maguire, it seems to be going downhill drastically for him, doesn't it? Like, from when he came to United to now.
Yeah, it doesn't look very good for him. Ever since he's came, he's made quite a lot of mistakes. He was class at Leicester, which is why obviously they signed him for so much money. But I don't know if the step up was too big or the price tag that was put on him was too much pressure. But ever since that, it's just been downhill for him. And I do feel kind of bad for him because he must just get so many tweets with no positivity, which can't help your mental state. No matter how strong you are, eventually it will wear you down. So in my opinion, the best thing for him would be a move away from Man United because we've got the best fans and we've got the worst fans when you're not playing good. I say that. We're the best fans when you're playing well, but when you're not playing good, our fans can be horrible. So I think a move away to a slightly smaller club would do him wonders. And then I think you could start to see the best of Harry Maguire again. But at this moment in time, being Man United's captain, I don't think it will get any better for him if it stays like this.
I saw this tweet earlier and I'm just referring to it now. So it was someone saying, it's Football Joe tweeted the interview of Maguire when he basically said there's a reason why the managers put me in the starting 11 when Ten Hag came in because obviously he's getting out of stick and Maguire basically backing himself. And since he did that interview, he's lost to Liverpool 4-0, lost to Palace, lost to Brighton, lost to Brentford, lost to Sociedad, lost to Italy obviously the other night and lost to Germany every time that Harry Maguire's played. So his form has been absolutely dreadful, and I want to stick to the form. I don't want to talk about anything else because you can like him as a person, dislike him as a human being.
We don't know him as a person, so
exactly, and that's why that gets to me, man. I think like fair enough, criticise his football and that, but some people just take it too far for me. And like you say, like his mental health can't be good at the moment with the form that he's in, and then seeing just that constant berating on social media ain't going to help. And I'm not sitting here defending because I know he's had a lot of protecting. I get that. His form simply isn't good enough, and I just wanted to focus on football. Because normally for England, to be fair, you'd say Maguire, especially in the Euros, was outstanding. But even for England, when you look at the recent results for England, he hasn't really been reliable there as well. So it is definitely concerning. Luke Shaw's another one, obviously, that gets tarred with a similar brush in terms of Maguire and that England kind of bias that we tend to have. And I thought Luke Shaw yesterday, I'll be honest, that he was outstanding. I know you say you didn't really see it, but Luke Shaw, he scored a goal at the back post. He kind of hit it low in between the keeper's legs, deflected in and whatnot. But I thought he was promising. He was positive when he got the ball, bombing forward on several occasions, overlapping, underlapping, and like I say, getting into the box and getting a goal as well. And I was impressed with Luke Shaw. And I guess what I'm asking you is, can you, with Malassia's form as well on the way that he's been playing, can you see a future for Luke Shaw at United? Like, do you think that he will start?
I think he's still got a place at United. I think when he gets his proper chance, like a good run, I think he needs to make sure he grasps it with both hands. And I think Luke Shaw, I think if he picks up more fights, because that Malacia geezer's got so much fight and aggression, and when things happen, you can see him. He's like, yeah. I think if Luke Shaw picks up that from the rest of the players, Luke Shaw could edge him out. But until he gets that I don't know if it's not built in him or what. Until he gets that, I can't see him getting in that team because it seems like Ten Hag wants firecrackers at the back, people that celebrate tackles and things like that. Where Luke Shaw doesn't seem as bothered as they do, as passionate as they do, which I don't know because I don't know him, but it's just you can see the passion on them other players.
Yeah, and I agree with this. He definitely needs to earn his place. It should always be based on form, 100%. And that's why a lot of people are scratching their heads at Maguire starting for England and Shaw starting for England. But they haven't been in form for the clubs, and I don't quite get that either. It's obviously favouritism and whatnot. But I do think Luke, his opportunity yesterday, he impressed. And I think a fit Luke Shaw, I mean, a lot of people obviously have an agenda against him as well and like to scapegoat him, but I do think a fit Luke Shaw, he can be an absolute monster at left back. That Euros when he scored that goal, obviously, in the final and whatnot, I think that's showing a flash of what Luke Shaw is capable of. But for whatever reason, he just hasn't really hit those heights since that awful injury that he had. He hasn't really been fit enough, and I saw pictures of him in like a vest top training, and loads of people retweeting it saying how fit he looks, and he does look a lot fitter. The question is how come he wasn't this fit under previous managers? Do you know what I mean? That says a lot about Ten Hag and obviously what he demands from these players. And I hope that Luke Shaw can get back to his form, because I do think on his day, when he is fit, I think he is one of the best left backs around. But as we see too often, like, it just hasn't been there. And passion has definitely been something, that mindset maybe as well. It used to be like a constant joke saying that Luke Shaw would go off injured all the time when they go and get tough and stuff. And you don't want that label as a player, do you? You want to obviously prove yourself. And I'm hoping that under Ten Hag, he can hopefully do that. And then the last thing about England, Gareth Southgate. Everyone's been talking about him this week. Should he stay? Should he go? I've said it from the off. I don't think they'll change it just before a World Cup. I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll most likely be after the World Cup. Look, I'm not optimistic after seeing what I've seen with England that we are going to do well. And I believe that if we don't do well, then Southgate will go. But I think, look, a lot of people have got short memories. The football we've been playing has been dire. We have looked very poor. But this guy got us into a semi-final and then a final. Like, that's the best I've seen us being for a long, long time. But then you look at the flip side of it, look at the generation that we've got now, the star quality players that we've got. And it's almost like it's holding them back because we're playing so defensive. So I can see it from both sides. Do you know what I mean? It almost seems like a ticking time bomb. It's only a matter of time until Southgate goes.
My issue with him would be it doesn't seem like he's picking people on form like people are saying. It just seems like he's got in his mind what he thinks his team is already. And it doesn't matter what's happening elsewhere. He's just going to pick that team. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if that World Cup team was already written and like on his wall in his room since last year. Like, looking at it every day. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. That's what my issue with him is. Like, if he was a football player, it doesn't matter. Like, if Haaland was English, he wouldn't be in the team because he'd be like, "Nah, I didn't write your name down last year."
Yeah,
you get what I mean?
I mean, Tomori was one for me. Why take over Tony and not playing for a single minute as well? Like, that just literally mugged him off, because there's a big deal about getting Tony into the squad. He's in the squad and he doesn't even play a single minute. Like, I don't get that. I'm pretty sure there were several goalkeepers on the bench in the first game against Italy as well, and Tony not even featuring. Like, he must be feeling mugged off. But Tomori was a good example. Someone like Maguire starting over someone like Tomori, who's been in flying form in Italy, just doesn't add up, and it does stink, doesn't it, of that favouritism that we've seen far too often. It's horrible to see that. And thank you, Brush. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well as well. What do you think our chances are in the World Cup then? Like, genuinely, like, hand on heart, how far through are England going to get? Do you think? Like, do you think past? I don't think we're
getting past the group stage.
You think?
Yeah. I've supported England every year until after this Euro. Now I never support England again. So
That's
I don't care
fair.
where they get. I don't care where they get anymore. But yeah. Obviously, I'm going to watch them because it's England and it's the excitement, but I don't care what actually happens to England. But I don't think we'll get past the group
stage.
You
won't celebrate it like we would have.
Yeah, I won't celebrate. Nah. Not anymore. Not after that Euro. Yeah, I think the way we've been playing, we'll be lucky to get past the group stage.
We ain't look good. I do think we'll get past the group, but I don't think we'll go much further than that. Maybe the next game, I think we'll stumble. Unless these players all of a sudden can find some form between now and then. In the league, like in their club form and stuff. But if you're playing players like Stones and Maguire, how are they going to build that form if they're not playing football? And that's where it's like a vicious cycle, isn't it? Because you're not going to get the best out of these players.
But the World Cup will be more exciting the further they get, because it lasts longer, if you get what I mean. Like,
yeah, it does get more exciting. And you're playing against more challenging opponents and whatnot. Obviously, there's more to play for. But, like, in terms of the World Cup being moved to the winter, like, I was having a discussion the other day saying, do you think it's a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
It's bad, man.
In terms of the players, I mean, entertainment stuff, yeah, none of us want it in the winter, of course, I get that. In terms of the players as well, think about it. When it's at the end of the season, these players have had a full season of football, and so they're in fine form, like, they're flying. when it's like midway for the season, some players haven't even got up to speed by that point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or some players like knocks, and I feel like it's halfway through the season is just a weird. I don't know. It's weird. It is very weird, and I can't quite get excited for it because I'm a bit baffled by it. Really,
It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real, does it?
No.
And I think
there's that
it's
as well,
just
of course.
the congestion of fixtures is going to be a mess, man. With the Queen thing as well, it's going to be like we're in for some madness. It's exciting for us fans because it's like, oh yeah, we can watch Man United every day. But but it's just like I don't know. It doesn't even feel real, man. It feels like when COVID first came and football stopped. It feels like it's the opposite of it. Like football's here like non-stop now. It's just weird, man.
Yeah. Like I say, it's exciting for us fans, but for players, fitness and stuff like that, like it is going to be tough. Like with the Queen obviously passing away and games being stopped there as well, which I didn't really understand. Like for me, like all games should have just been called off, then so it's fair playing field for everyone. Don't just play 1 or 2 games. Like just, do you know what I mean?
For me, no game should have been called off, and we should have just done a minute in all the games.
They were saying for police presence, weren't they? They were saying it's because of police presence stuff for the funeral, which okay, fair enough then. But if it's a police presence issue, and I know Leeds United is obviously a big game and there's going to need a lot of police there. But to make it fair, surely you just cancel all games then because you can't cater for all of them, and then you know what I mean? Like the fact that certain teams, got stopped. I just didn't agree with that. I thought it was a bad way.
Well, only London games should have been stopped.
Well, exactly. Brentford played against Arsenal, and that was fine. No worries. But it's because they don't need as much police presence there. Of course, they don't. But yeah, it just annoyed me, and like you say, the knock-on effect from that now for us and other teams who got called off that weekend is just going to be horrific. Total shambles is what it is. If we really break it down, this World Cup shouldn't even be going ahead. They won the bid with the promise of a summer tournament before pulling the
Is that real?
Up. I believe it was. Yeah,
that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't know
the whole European calendar with no regard for the domestic leagues. Yeah, there's been no thought about the domestic leagues. And like I say, like, is it really going to be the best quality of tournament if players aren't really at their highest form at that point? Do you know what I mean? If they haven't really hit the ground running with the clubs and.
I think it's still the World Cup, so you're still going to absolutely love it if you get what I mean.
Yeah, it's
going to be like Man United are like 3rd in the league and we're waiting for this tournament to be over to see where we come in the league. Do you get what I mean? It's just strange.
Yeah. The Met Office called in, City's Police should have been cancelled. All of them just should have been cancelled. It was just annoying, to be honest with you. Shivering they play again behind closed doors. See, I don't think I think we had that in lockdown and I don't think we should have gone behind closed doors, especially like Leeds United. Like, you don't want to see that behind closed doors, do you? And I get it just to prevent the fixture pile up, but it just wasn't an ideal situation. The ideal one is that you just continue playing, of course. But yeah, I don't know. It was just frustrating. It's frustrating because so early in the season as well, with an international break coming up, and nobody likes the international break. So it's just like, it feels like ages since we've seen United, and we felt like we were building some momentum, and now we're not going to see. Do you know what I mean?
I wonder if we've still got. And Liverpool were in such a bad place. And are they going to come out the other side now, having rested? It's like it's really annoyed me, man.
Yeah, and teams like Fulham, who obviously hit the ground running in the Prem, like they'll be gutted to you know what I mean? So it's annoying. It is what it is, but it's definitely frustrating. So like say, so for me, obviously England is my team in the Euros. In the World Cup. But say if England get knocked out, like who's your other team that you're going to be rooting? Because everyone has a secret team that they're rooting for. I don't care what anything.
England's my secret team, innit? Because I don't like them anymore.
Yeah.
So
who are you rooting
who's
for?
My number one team then? Flipping out. I haven't even thought now. When I was a kid, it was always Brazil.
Yeah.
I guess someone like Netherlands would be cool.
Yeah. I remember.
Are they in it? Actually, they're not in it, are they? Are they in it?
Well, they are, aren't they? I swear that ages ago. I don't know. Actually, recap me. I don't know. I think they are. Yeah, they are. I think. But I always go for the nicest kid. You know, when I was younger, I was the nicest kid. But no, I think Brazil has to be for me. To be fair,
it would be nice for an African team to get past the.
I always like Portugal as well because of Ronaldo.
Portugal,
England, but I do always have a soft spot for them as well.
Is it the semis that no African team's been past, or the quarters? No, and Suarez. Don't you remember that year when Suarez stopped history for the whole of Africa? Yeah, he handballed it, and that would have been the furthest the African team ever got. And Suarez handballed it.
Before Suarez. So thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate that, mate. And I thank you, and I hope you're okay. Good evening, Soph and Zeo. They do say form goes out the window for a derby. Could be an interesting one on Sunday. Hope you're feeling better. So thank you. I'm much, much better, Doug, and I hope you are doing well too. I know you said you had a bit of a cold, so I hope you're feeling better as well. It was Ghana. That's who it was. GT said it was
Ghana.
Ghana.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
would have been the furthest the whole
Yeah,
continent of Africa ever
I
got.
think it
Yeah, I was
was-
laughing at that. I was laughing
Yeah.
at that.
It's true. Did you see actually the Van Gaal clip with Malacia the other day?
No.
In training, Malacia scored, and all you hear is Van Gaal go, "Oh, Malacia," like that. Like I'll have to try and find the clip of saying, yeah, it's typical LBG, but yeah, I thought it was quality. That is the question, isn't it? We're going to move on to it now. United, obviously, City at the weekend. I was going to ask your thoughts on it. This is the main question that really I've got to ask, isn't it? How do we put the butcher on him? That's what we do. We put the butcher on him.
Oh God, it's going to be very fun to watch because it's gonna be a great I don't know what the word is to see where we're at type of thing. I know it's City and they should batter anyone, but it's going to be nice to see how we deal with such a quality team.
It's like a cheat code. It's mad. Like
The Monstars.
And I love
Jam.
the thing I hate about it is I love watching them play as well. Like De Bruyne and Haaland, they're on the same level, and watching them two play, look, it's so entertaining because they're just on the same page. De Bruyne is always looking for Haaland, always. Every time De Bruyne's got it, Haaland's looking like in behind or he's looking to pull back. Like, and De Bruyne, he knows De Bruyne will find him. And them two, I mean, we always spoke about it, saying if they got Haaland, like it would be scary. But I don't think any of us realised actually how scary it was going to be. Like seeing how he settled into this league, how De Bruyne is just feeding him, it is absolutely madness. And yeah,
what you saying, like 45 goals.
Let's give us a bit of credit because our defence has been very good of late. Martinez, Varane, Delo, and Malacia as a back four have been really good of late as well, and I think they deserve a lot of credit. We played against Liverpool, and obviously a lot of people wasn't really expecting us to get much from that. But as you say, Liverpool have been poor. City are not the same animal. City are on form. City are flying at the minute with the likes of Haaland. And yeah, FC they said there, we can't keep parking the bus against City. It'll be interesting how Ten Hag deals with Pep's tactics.
I reckon he's defo parking the bus.
I hope Martinez keeps his head, but fully expect him to get stuck in. I do think if you're Haaland, though, you're putting yourself on Martinez, you'd think, wouldn't he? Because obviously he's an absolute tank, he's a beast, he's huge. You think he's going to put himself. So it is interesting to see how we're going to deal with that. And I am scared about it, I'll be honest. I mean, how are you feeling going into that game against City at the weekend?
You know what? I'm normally very optimistic, but that one, whatever happens, as long as we don't make a fool of ourselves, I'm not going to get upset. I guess that tells you how I'm feeling about it.
So what's acceptable for you then? Like not making a fool of yourself, an acceptable score?
Like,
that
I don't want to see them beating us by more than 2 goals. I really don't want to see. I would love it. Obviously, I want Man United to win. I really want us to win. A draw would be nice, but like, I just don't want to. I don't want no 4-0, 3-0 thing. I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to see no. Do you get what I mean? Just like, I don't want to watch it and be like, these lot are actually taking the mick.
I do think City have proven this season though that they can get at them. Someone said that John Stones went off injured, obviously, so Kanji you'd think could play. They've got likes of Ake, Diaz, obviously, but I do think they've shown at times this season that you can get at them.
I don't think we will though.
But it's on that counter attack, isn't it? If we can pinch it and break at speed, that's where we're dangerous. And in a way, City style kind of plays into our hands with that. The only problem is they're so good on the ball and so clinical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we're not switched on, if someone doesn't track their play for a second, literally, they will find that, they'll plug that gap and they'll, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by they're a different animal. But if they do go for it and we can stay resilient at the back, I do have confidence that actually on the counter attack we can cause them problems because gaps will open up. They like to bomb forward, especially the fullbacks. So I do think that we could cause them issues, but it is about us being resilient and, like you say, the quality that City have got. It's so hard to keep them out, isn't it?
Yeah. I wonder what team he's going to play. That would be very interesting. I think it would be the team he played before, the one where he played Ronaldo and that in. So I reckon it would be that original team again. And it'd be very interesting. I think we are going to partner bus. I think we are going to try and hit him on the counter. And I think it's going to depend a lot on what someone like Rashford can get done. Because I think he's going to have our main chances. I think it's going to be a pacey thing. And it's going to be like, can Rashford get through enough? Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see.
That was a positive of having an international break. Rashford obviously had a knock and he didn't want to risk it at the international break, so he's been rested. Sancho didn't get called up, which baffled me. Could have done with him in the last 2 games for England, to be fair, but he didn't get called up, and so he's been rested. So at least we're not risking them 2 players in terms of an injury, which is a good thing with the congestion that we've got coming up as well. So I feel like them 2 being fresh, like you say, they could really hold the key. And Brusher said it there as well. Like Rashford could be really key for us, and I do think that. And to be fair, he's been informed. Do you think Ronaldo will start in this game?
I hope not. I hope not. I don't think it would. I think the amount they're going to have the ball, having Ronaldo is going to be no good. And it's sad to even say there to be a day where you hope Ronaldo doesn't start. But yeah, I don't think it works for us tactically at all. I think when we've got Ronaldo on the pitch, we need to have the ball, and I think that possession stat's going to be like 70-30, man. So yeah,
more than that, to be fair. It could be more than that.
Yeah, so I hope he doesn't start, and I don't think he will.
It's in the chat, if anyone is aware, will Martial, is he back for this game? Because I haven't actually heard much about him lately. Obviously, I know he's been injured. Is Martial back?
Maguire needs to start.
What do you like in terms of Martial? Would you start him in this game, or do you think it'll be Bruno again, kind of playing that false nine, and Eriksen playing in the midfield, and then kind of switching like we have seen?
For me, it just completely depends on Martial's fitness, because I think if he's fit and he's not going to get hurt again by like bringing him in too early, I think he needs to play for us. Like, I think we're going to be much better when this guy can actually stay fit and stay on the pitch for Man United. I think we're going to look much better. So I think if he's ready to play and not going to get hurt, we need to start him. But if it's a case of, he's a bit touch and go, I think we just wait, because I want Martial in this team throughout the season. I don't just want to have a good chance against City and then he's injured for another 3 games again. But I think Martial's going to be critical and key for us if we can get him starting games. Yeah,
hello to Connor from Vancouver. Thank you so much, Connor, for tuning in. I hope you are doing well. And we can play ball with Ten Hag. We won't defend on that. We have proven in flashes that we can play ball, but City will press high. And that's what I mean. We've got to be on it, because any slight mistakes, they will punish us. We've got lucky at times. We haven't been punished for certain mistakes or overhit passes, do you know what I mean? Or leaving certain gaps. But I do think against City, like, you just know that they are going to punish you if you make any mistakes. So that is the frustrating thing about it. But if we can keep Haaland quiet, I think the only way really you keep Haaland quiet is by stopping the supply, and that's De Bruyne, isn't it? Like, you know what we need? We need Ander Herrera. You need the manager to just say, look, Ander, just follow him around all game. Like we've seen Herrera do in the past with Hazard. Just follow him and just stop him, because he, for me, is the main issue. Obviously, they've got quality else around the pitch, but for stopping Haaland, you stop the supply, and as you know, De Bruyne is the main one. So we need to, that midfield battle, I think, is going to be really interesting. Casemiro, firstly, I don't think he'll start either, but what's your thoughts on him so far? Obviously, we've only seen bits of him, but have you liked what you've seen so far?
I liked him in the first game that he played. He looked really good. And then I think it was the last game he came on and he just looked off. He just looked off it compared to everyone else for me. Like, his passes were a bit wayward and stuff like that. And I feel like the team was just playing around him. And I feel like McTominay has done more since he's came.
McTominay's playing well.
Yeah, I think McTominay's been better since he's came, but obviously he needs to get used to the system and being in Manchester and blah, blah. And he's a great player overall, but we'll see. So for me, I get why he's not starting yet. And with McTominay's form, it wouldn't even be fair, would it? So I get it. And I hope he does. I hope we do get to see the Casemiro that we're used to seeing, and it improves us.
And I think the other thing that he brings as well is not even just on the pitch, like his experience in the change rooms and stuff. He seems like proper focus guy, doesn't he? He seems to have the right attitude. And we've questioned the mentality in our dressing room for a long time, saying we lack that leadership, we lack winners. He's definitely one of them. So we with him, Varane, Ronaldo there. For the young players like Alanga, even players like Anthony, do you know what I mean? Coming to United and being in a dressing room with players like that, it's only going to lift you, surely. And yeah, it's the same for City. They'd be looking at us. I've said about De Bruyne, they'd be looking at us, and I'm sure they're thinking Eriksen is the guy who we should be focusing on as well, because Eriksen has been outstanding this season. And my next question to you was going to be, who has been the standout for you this season for United so far? Everyone in the chat obviously get involved as well and let us know what your thoughts are. But it doesn't have to be a new signing. But from watching United this season, who has been a standout for you? And there's been a few, to be fair, which is a nice thing to say as a United fan, because we ain't had that for a while.
I think we wouldn't be where we are without Eriksen at the moment. I think he's been a massive calming presence in the midfield. I think his passing's very underrated, because it's not necessarily the assist pass, but it's always like the key pass before the assist for me. Yeah. So I think he's been my standout player by
the pre-assist. I saw that on Twitter the other day and I was like, what?
Pre-assist.
Is that even a thing? I would have claimed loads of them when I was playing. Like, yeah, that's a assist for me. What is that? I know it's very early days, but I'm feeling a bit of deja vu with Casemiro, same as when Donny arrived. Is he a Ten Hag signing? Interesting. I guess time will tell on that one, Brush. But it's early days, very early days. I think he's shown in flashes, like he's intercepted and stuff like that. He's been in the right position, which is obviously what Casemiro does. But I do agree with Zeo. I think on the ball, he has seemed a bit shaky at times, or not quite on the same wavelength for the players around him. And I'm hoping that time we'll build that, and obviously training with the players week in, week out and stuff. Hopefully he'll get used to it and being in Manchester. Not every player takes to it straight away. Obviously we've got sport with the likes of Bruno Fernandes who just hit the ground running, but not every player's going to do that. And Martinez as well, he's hit the ground running, but not every signing's the same, is it? And I think Anthony's another one as well. Obviously he scored against Arsenal, but I think it'll take a bit of time for him to embed as well. I mean, have you liked what you've seen of Anthony so far?
Yeah, he looks exciting, doesn't he? He took his goal well in that game. He looks like he wants to take on players, but he's not quite sure yet. I think he's going to get to a stage where he is doing all these flashy skills. And when I like it because we don't really have anyone that does it.
No.
Like Sancho, I thought would have done it, but he doesn't really. He does a little here and there, but he's not really on it. So yeah, it's nice to see a player that does that, and a Brazilian, like a real Brazilian. So yeah, I'm happy that we've signed him, and I hope he does start to show what he's really capable of and get some confidence, because I think it would just be a bit of confidence.
I'm hoping that Ten Hag just keeps sticking by him, and I think he will, because obviously he's his man, isn't he?
He's signing, isn't it? As soon as he came, he was on instantly on the pitch.
You saw the little interview, and he's like, "Are you excited?" Or he said, "Are you ready?" or something like that to Anthony. Like you could see he was buzzing to get in there. Like so, I think he will stick by him, but I do think he'll need just to keep being backed. I think that early goal really helps him, because you know when you get in the side and he's been starting for a few games and they haven't scored yet, and then the pressure builds. He's already got that pressure out the way by getting a goal.
Just gave him a bit of leeway with the fans as well, innit? Yeah.
Yeah. So I do think give him a bit of time, and I think he'll come good. But standout player, I think Martinez deserves a shout. I think he's been outstanding, a really good addition. And look, like I said, Haaland, I'm sure will pin himself. I see other teams will look at him and say he's short and they can pin themselves. But I think what he has proven is that he can hold his own, just like any other centre back. Like he shouldn't be judged on his height. Like he's a very good footballer as well, very composed on the ball. Always look for a forward pass, which is what I like about him. Not always wanting to play sideways.
Did he come from Ajax?
Yeah.
And he was the second choice.
I don't know. I think he was playing. He was playing.
No, I mean for us to sign, it was.
Choice. Timber was the first name that I was going to say he was playing at Ajax. Yeah, Timber was the first one mentioned.
So Ajax were playing two short centre backs.
Yeah,
mad. And that's the second choice.
Plays for Ajax as well. Who obviously was short and played for United.
Yeah.
Quality player, by the way. I want to add in there. It was quality. But I think Martinez up there. Ericsson I'd also put there. And a surprise one from me is actually Delo.
No, man.
I wouldn't have thought I mentioned him, and I'm saying this because I knew what your reaction would be. But Delo, well, okay, probably not a standout, but easily for me the most improved player.
Okay, yeah, most improved. It's not hard from where he improved from, but yeah, most improved. I will agree with you. But I wouldn't say he's a standout. No way.
Yeah, but he's stood out because how drastic his improvement's been. Like,
okay, but if you think of positions that we need to improve, he's like top three. One. Huh?
Still,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like from where he was at. Like we used to, every week we'd have a discussion about him, saying like how he was doing our heading, basically.
Yeah.
And I'll try and stay optimistic, but like he's young, he'll come good. Jose signed him, he backed him. But to be fair, I do think this season he's been quality. Malacia is another one that has been a gem as well. Yeah, I think he deserves a mention, and it's nice that we've got so many. I think if I had to choose a penultimate one, I probably would go for Ericsson. Like you say, he's been involved in a lot of goals that we've scored. Most of the goals that we've scored, he's had a hand in it. And ultimately, football's about scoring goals, isn't it? So I'll give it to Ericsson. But I think Martinez is a close second. And also, I think Delo has been solid as well, yeah. And I think he deserves a shout-out. He deserves a shout-out, though. You've got to be honest. Like, from where he was at.
Not in the question that you're asking.
Not a standout of the season, no. But he deserves a little asterisk by him.
Well done for not being Delo of last season.
Did you think Wan-Bissaka's done then for Finito at United?
Who? Sorry?
That answered the question. Wan-Bissaka.
Oh, it seems that way, doesn't it? It seems that way. Because I think we need a major improvement on Delo. I think in our next batch of signings, we will go for a right back, I think. So I think, Delo's doing a job for him for now, but he's not doing the job that he wants done good enough, in my opinion. So I think Wan-Bissaka is just not capable of the job that he wants done. So I think, he's finished. He's just going to come on to give Delo a rest and stuff like that, unless he finds a youth player that...
That's what I mean.
Didn't he come on once?
Once, I think, yeah. But yeah, I should be featured, and that's where, obviously, it's pretty obvious that he ain't.
Yeah, I think he's done. He's done.
Yeah, I do think Delo has got better and better. Obviously, we'll see in terms of his future. He just needs to keep improving. But Ten Hag is definitely working wonders with him from where he was at. And his passion, you know, you talk about passion from defenders. He's the main one, like celebrating when he makes a clearance and stuff, and high-fiving Martinez and getting in the face. Like, and when we score, he's like always on the pictures, like absolutely loving it. And you can't help but like that in a player.
You just can't cross, man.
No, his crossing is definitely the worst aspect of his game. But he's actually a better defender than what I thought he was.
Yeah.
1v1, do you know what I mean? He's actually pretty solid, to be fair. And
I've seen him get done though as well, man. Jeez.
Yeah, many times. But less and less, do you know what I mean? That's the progress. Like, he is seeming a better defender. And whatever Ten Hag is doing, he needs to keep doing with him for sure, because he has got a lot better. All right, and honestly, and in the chat, let us know your prediction for the derby on the weekend.
And peas, man. Whew.
I know it's hard, it's early, but
it's very and I haven't seen them play for so long, man. It feels like first game of the season.
Yeah.
I think we've lost it. I think Haaland is just a joke. And if he doesn't score because we've got all our players marking him, do you get what I mean? It's just, so I think it's looking like I wouldn't go 4-1 or 3-0. I think we'll keep it tight. I'm going to hope that we get some positives. So I'm going to say 2-1 or 1-0, but I'm going to go 2-1 because I hope we score.
You know me, I'll never bet against United. Never. I'm not going to say fully honest.
What, you're just going to come on stream and lie then?
That's not a lie. Is it a lie? I can't predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but in your heart, you know we ain't winning that game.
A lie would be if I knew the score already and I was just saying something just to swipe baseball.
Denial then.
Yeah, I'm in denial for sure. I'm deluded. That's the word, deluded. I'm going to say 2. I don't think 2-2 is a bad shout, you know.
Does anyone in the chat genuinely in their heart think we're going to win? It is a possibility, but does anyone genuinely think we're going to win?
And that's why I'm saying a draw, because I won't bet against us, because I don't think we're going to win. So
right.
The draw is the safest thing. I do think we'll score against them. I think we can score against them, definitely. I think it depends how we start the game. If we start the game slowly, like we have shown that we can in the past, and we don't commit to the second half, like the game will be past us by then, it'll be gone. So I do think we need to have a fast start. And after an international break, it's hard, isn't it? We're going to get that fast start. You know what? Sorry, I'm going to go 2-1 United. I'm going to go for it.
Really?
Yeah,
well, is it because of that comment there? Back your team, girl. It's football. Anything can happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll back the team. I'll do it. Yeah.
I always say we're going to win, but this one, I don't know, man. But I know we're capable. We are capable.
Add, though, in brackets into it, if we're doing 2-1, it's down to a lucky VAR decision or VAR working in our favour.
Nah, it's down to Rashford actually burying every chance. That's what it is.
I think we'll ride our luck, basically, is what I'm saying.
If Rashford buries every chance he gets, we win.
The big if, though.
Yeah.
The big if. I don't think it's going to be as open as people expecting. Like, I don't think we'll get absolutely battered. But then again, we did against Brentford and whatnot, so it's hard. I'm hoping we've learned our lesson since then.
I like what Andrew said there. That's the type of thing that I want to see.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm hoping we just don't get rolled over. And like I said, I do think if we win, we will ride our luck a bit. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Weirder things have happened. Nobody thought we'd turn over Liverpool, really. And I know Liverpool have been poor, but who knows? This international break could halt City a little bit. You know what I mean? It could have. We said about momentum and stuff. Maybe it could affect them in a different way. Like, who knows? I know I'm clutching on so many straws right now, and but 2-1 to United. I'm going to go for it. I think goal scorers. I'm going to go for. I don't think we'll score from like a set piece, unless it's a free kick from Eriksen. I'm going to go for Eriksen for a goal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm hoping he scores a free kick, and I'm going to go for Rashford maybe on a counter attack. Yeah, Rashford. It seems like the kind of game that Rashford could bag in. So, I'm going to go Rashford and Eriksen. For them, I'm going to have to say Haaland, and I can't really bet against that. I just think he's ridiculous, an absolute machine. Every time I think he's not going to score, he just scores anyway.
How many is he scoring this season?
How many he's got already?
Has he got 9? I think.
It's scary how many he could get in it. Like,
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's terrifying. Like, what's the record actually?
I don't even actually know that. I've never known that.
If anyone knows that, let us know.
And who's got it? Someone like Shearer.
I think he could beat it. That's what I'm going to say, because he's just like. I liked Haaland when he was at Dortmund, but I'll be honest, I didn't watch him week in, week out. Just every time I saw him, it made him entertaining. But watching him at City, like week in, week out, like he's just proven to me how good he is. Like
he's on 11.
It's phenomenal. Like he's for 11 in the league.
Bro, some strikers are gonna get that by the end of the season.
Like literally 4 times that.
Some strikers are gonna end with that. Yo, there was a stage where the Man United team had that like combined.
That wasn't as bad as the stat with the corners. We had an
Oh yeah.
Was it 100 and, what was it, 140 corners or something? In the end? It was so mad. That was mad. Oh, 31 is the most.
Is
Yeah,
that it?
he'll beat that. In fact, I think he'll get 10 more than that.
Is that it, man? Yeah, that's already done. That's already
I'm
done.
going to say, so he's on 11 now. I'm going to say 4 times that. That's 44. That's what I'm going to say.
He might get the 31 by the World Cup.
You get 31 by next week after you Let's hope not. But yeah, he's ridiculous, and you've just got to admire it, ain't you? Like, he is quality, but I do think he'll get more than 40. That's so depressing.
How much is he going to be worth after this season, man? His value is going to be astronomical.
It's ridiculous. I don't think he'll stay at City for long. You know what I mean?
I don't think he will either. You know,
he'll stay for long. The second someone like Real Madrid come calling for him,
how much are they going to have to pay though? That's the crazy thing.
I think he's one of these. It seems to me he's very like hungry and ambitious, and I think he'll want to achieve it in like every league.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I do think that he's quite ambitious. You know, like Ronaldo obviously went abroad and stuff as well, and I think he's similar to that. Like, he's ambitious and he wants to keep bettering himself. So I don't think he'll be there for long, but whilst they've got him, he's going to be absolutely ridiculous. With De Bruyne in behind as well. I mean, like I said, it's an absolute cheat code, and we've got to try and keep them two quiet, and it's going to be a hard one, but I do think, I wouldn't say I'm confident, but I do think that it's going to be tighter than what people think. That's what I'll say. I don't think it's going to be as open as what it should be, really, when you look at the table and look at how they've been banging in goals for fun. But yeah, Zeo, thank you so much. It's been a great show. It's been great to chat to you. Like I say, it's been absolutely ages. And obviously, if you're free at the weekend, we'll do a show after the City game as well. And hopefully, we'll be smiling. It's unlikely, but yeah, if you are free, we can definitely do a cool down show. If you let people know where they can find you as well. You're doing a giveaway as well, aren't you?
Yeah, not for random people though.
But I just want to shout this out. This is one of the Ravity. So yeah, what I'm going to say is
at Zeo Leonardo, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, at Zeo Leonardo with a kiss.
You just know I'm going to say that now. I've got to take this off to say it though. Follow me, guys. Soph Richo on everything apart from Instagram. Soph Richo with a kiss on the end of it. Yeah, make sure you go and follow Zeo. Great content, great music. Are you releasing new music soon?
Yes, 7th of October.
I look forward to it. But yeah, hit the like on Ladies in Red, you know how it goes. Hit the sub button if you are new. Please share the video as well so more people can come and get involved. We'll be back with regular content. Back again. And yeah, look after yourselves. If I've missed your comment, I don't do it on purpose. Just put a comment afterwards and I'll always reply to you there. All the stuff says, have a good evening. Look after yourselves and we'll see you soon.